A poor single mother begged a whitesea for medicine, only to be mocked, "Go die in the slum." The next day, the sea was ousted from the Boa RD dawn at 5 a.m., Ruka slums. The sky wasn't fully lit yet, and the rain had been pouring all night. The tin roof rattled like a drum, water dripping through the cracks, soaking the old blanket where Mara lay curled up in the corner, clutching her 3-year-old daughter, Nana. The little girl's breathing was quick and shallow, like a bird with its throat squeezed tight. Her forehead burned against Mara's chest. Mama called. Nana whimpered weakly, her eyelids half open, her gaze unfocused. Mara's heart felt like it was being sliced open. She touched her daughter's tiny hand hot as embers. She knew she couldn't wait any longer. The old village doctor had warned her yesterday, pneumonia. If she doesn't get in 4, she won't make it through the day. She'd spent her last few coins on half a pack of fever medicine, but it hadn't helped. Medicine, where was medicine? The rich had hospitals full of it. The Rma houses were stacked to the ceiling. But for women like Mara, medicine cost more than gold. Gently, she wrapped Nana in a faded blue cloth, the only thing left from her husband. He'd died of malaria 2 years ago, collapsing on the way to the clinic because they couldn't afford treatment. Mara had sworn then, Nana won't die like this. Ba refoot. She stepped into the muddy water, carrying her daughter out of the tin shack. The rain kept falling, the wind whipping plastic bags and dust into the air. A few neighbors peeked out, whispering, "Mara, don't go. Those white people won't help you." "But Nana's still breathing," Mara rasped. "She's only 3. She hasn't even seen the lions at the zoo." No one argued. In Ruka, children got sick every day. Mothers ride them to hospitals, only to return empty-handed. This was a forgotten place. Government ambulances never came, doctors called it too dangerous. But sickness didn't if you were poor. Mara trudged through the muddy alleys, her feet cut by broken glass, but she didn't feel the pain. There was only one place in her mind, New Light Rma headquarters. That glass tower stood like a crystal palace in the city's financial district, where white men in suits walked in and out. She'd heard the medicine there could save lives. 6 kilometers. It took her over 2 hours. Nana felt lighter than a leaf in her RMS, her breaths growing weaker. Finally, the building loomed ahead, its New Light Rma sign glowing RSHLY in the rain. Mara stood at the revolving doors, soaked, hair plastered to her face, her daughter Ba clinging to life. The Gua RD behind the glass frowned at her like she was a stray dog that had wandered into a restaurant. "I need to see your boss." Mara shouted, her voice shaking. "My daughter's dying, please, just 1 box of antibiotics. Anything." The Gua RD waved her off. "Get out of here. This isn't a charity. I'm not begging." Mara dropped to her knees, mud splashing. "I'm a mother. My girl's only 3. Her name's Nana, she loves to sing, she hasn't even grown up yet, please, just 1 box. I'll pay you back, I'll work for you, anything." Her cries echoed through the empty lobby. A few office workers hurried past, eyes glued to their phones. Some frowned. Some took pictures, like they were watching a street performance. Then the elevator doors slid open. A tall white man stepped out. James Coleman, New Light C, sent by the multinational to expand African markets. Shah RP gray suit, perfect tie, a watch glinting coldly on his wrist. "What's going on?" he snapped at the Gua Road. "Says her kid's sick. Wants medicine." James stepped closer, looking down at Mara like she was dirt. He pinched his nose slightly, as if the smell of rain and mud offended him. "Do you know what kind of company this is?" His voice was ice. "This is a RCH center, not a free clinic. 1 pill of ours costs more than your family makes in a month." Mara looked up, TRS streaming. "Sir, I don't want money, just 1 box, to save my girl. She'll get better, she'll go to school, she'll work." James suddenly laughed. To Shah RP, cruel sound. "Africans are lazy. If you can't afford kids, don't have them. Go home. Let her die in your shack, don't dirty our doors." Mara trembled, clutching Nana tighter. You're human too. You had a mother's security." James Ba ked. "Throw her out. Call the police if she comes back. Tugwa RDS yanked Mara up. She fell on the steps, Nana slipping from her RMS, her tiny body hitting the stone edge. Mara screamed, lunging four-way RD, wrapping herself around her daughter like she was shielding the last flicker of light. James adjusted his cufflinks, stepping into the elevator without a glance back. Just before the doors closed, he muttered to his assistant, Africans are so dramatic. A little sickness, and they wail like it's the end of the world. You have to rule these places with an iron fist. Mara sat in the rain, holding Nana, motionless. The water washed over her face. Was it rain or TRSGSTA? Read at those glass doors, at the man who'd vanished inside, and something inside her shattered. But she didn't scream. She just rocked Nana gently, whispering, don't be SCA red. Mama's here, Mama's taking you home. She stood, slipping in the mud as she walked into the downpour. Behind her, Nulite Fa RMA's tower gleamed, untouched, a temple of money and power. In Mara, with her daughter in her RMS, Disape read into the slums. No one knew that night, Nulite's servers were hacked, an audio file leaked onto an anonymous forum. James' voice, crisp and clear, are, poor people's lives are worthless. Go die in your shack. No one knew the next morning, a mixed-race journalist in Lusaka got an anonymous text, look into Nulite's Project K. Children A rent test subjects. And when Mara returned to her shack, she didn't pray. She didn't light incense. She just laid Nana down, then went outside, digging up an ancient clay shah RD, her grandmother's ancestral token. With charcoal, she wrote Nana's name on it, then walked to the giant baobab tree at the edge of the slums. Its trunk was red with wishes, leaves rustling like whispers in the wind. Mara tied the Shah RD to the lowest branch, murmuring, Mother Earth, if you hear me, save my child. I don't ask for wealth, just let her live. She knelt in the mud, forehead pressed to the roots, unmoving. The rain stopped. A thin ray of sunlight broke through, glinting on the Shah RD. Its markings eerily similar to the label on one of Nulite's experimental drugs. The wind blew softly. The Shah RD swayed like an answer. And across the city, James Coleman sipped coffee in his Boa Rudrum, watching stock prices rise, smirking. He didn't know the HRS of fate had already begun to turn. Mara kneels all night under the sacred tree the morning after the rain was damp and cold. Dew clung to Mara's clothes like a second skin, icy against her flesh. Her knees had gone numb hours ago, but she didn't move. Nana still burned in her RMS, her breaths so faint they were almost silent. Mara cradled her, warming her with her own body, whispering her grandmother's prayer over and over. Mother Earth, hear my voice. Ancestors, protect my flesh and blood. Ka Ruka slowly woke around her. Roosters crowed in the distance. Smoke curled up between the tin roofs as people lit fires, fetched water. A few kids ran by, stopping when they saw Mara and Nana. It's the tree woman, one whispered. Here, the ancient baobab was called Mwama's tree, the mother's tree. The elders said its roots reached the heart of the Earth, that it could hear the cries of the poor. Whenever someone was deathly sick or struggling in childbirth, mothers came here to pray, leaving offerings: a scrap of cloth, a strand of hair, or a clay shah. Mara had left the Shah RD with Nana's name read into it. It hung from the lowest branch, swaying in the dawn breeze like a heart refusing to fall. When full light came, old Asha, the village healer, hobbled over on her cane. Her face was a map of wrinkles, but her eyes were Shah RP. She crouched, touched Nana's forehead, then peeled back an eyelid. Fever, this lawn will CK her brain, she muttered. Mara's TRS spilled again. Asha, please, I'll do anything. The old woman sighed. Herbs won't fix this. But maybe the tree can help. She pulled a pouch of dried leaves from her robe, boiled them in a clay pot, and spooned the bitter liquid into Nana's mouth. Mara watched, feeding her drop by drop, like nursing a wounded bird. Then, at noon, a miracle. Nana's fever broke. At first, Mara thought she was imagining it. But she checked 3 times, 40 degrees Celsius down to 38 degrees Celsius. The girl's breathing steadied. Her lashes fluttered. Then, weakly, Mama Nana. Nana, you're awake. Mara clutched her, sobbing like a child herself. Word spread through Ruka like wildfire. People gathered around the tree, sta ring at Mara and Nana with awe. The tree answered, a man shouted. Mara was chosen, a woman cried. Old Asha stood silent, watching the clay Shah road. She leaned close to Mara. Child, this tree never lies. Your heart was true, so it listened. Mara didn't understand spirits or signs. All she knew was her daughter was alive. She knelt and knocked her forehead against the roots 3 times. But she didn't know that same night, James Coleman had a dream. He stood in a wasteland of burnt shacks, countless black eyes sta ring from the DRK. An old woman in a colorful dress held out a clay Shah RD with strange markings. What you've taken, you'll return, she said. He tried to run, but his feet were rooted. He woke drenched in sweat, heart pounding. Ridiculous, he scoffed. But all day, he couldn't focus, not even on the Boa Rudrum reports. Meanwhile, in Ruka Mara's life shifted. She wasn't just that widow anymore. Now, they called her Tree Woman. Kids ran up shouting Mama Mara. Neighbors left eggs, old clothes, even a bag of rice at her door. But Mara knew the truth. Nana wasn't cured. The fever had broken, but the pneumonia lingered. She needed real medicine. And Newlight's glass doors were still shut. Sitting outside her shack, holding Nana, she sta read at that distant tower. If the spirits saved her once, will they do it again? Just then, a beat-up motorcycle pulled up. A young woman climbed off. Mixed race, wearing a plain shirt and pants, a camera slung over her shoulder. Your Mara. Her Swahili was perfect, but her accent was foreign. Mara nodded. Wa Riley. I'm Lena, reporter for the Lusaka Times. She crouched, smiling at Nana. I heard what happened. And what Newlight did. I want the truth. Mara froze. You know James, I know every word he said yesterday. Lena pulled out a recorder and hit play. James' voice rang out, poor people's lives are worthless. Go die in your shack. Mara trembled. She hadn't known those words had been captured. Lena's voice softened. This isn't the first time. Newlight runs trials across Africa testing drugs on slum kids, covering up the deaths. I've been digging, but no one dare residential speak up. Mara looked down at Nana, stroking her cheek. Then she met Lena's eyes. I'll speak. Lena smiled. But you need proof. I have some. Mara pulled out the clay Shah road. These markings, I've seen them on Newlight's bottles. Exactly the same. Lena studied it, then pulled up a photo on her phone, a stolen shot of a Newlight experimental drug label. The symbols matched. This can't be, Lena whispered. These are internal codes. How are they on ancient pottery? Mara shrugged. Old Asha says healers used to gather here. Maybe long ago, people here knew medicine too. Lena's eyes lit up. You think Newlight built over a sacred site? They might have found artifacts and hid them. They locked eyes, both thinking the same thing, the Shah RD might be the key. That night, Mara dreamed again. She stood in a golden field, wind rippling the grass. The colorful old woman Ape read the same one from James' dream. She held out a new Shah RD, Ayurved, with 3 words, medicine belongs to the people. Mara tried to ask who she was, but the woman dissolved into the wind. She woke before dawn. Nana slept peacefully beside her, her forehead sealed. Stepping outside, Mara saw the baobab shrouded in mist. As she read the Shah RD, she noticed something fresh. Carvings on the back. In tiny script, Swahili words. Medicine isn't in bottles. It's in hearts. Mara sta read. Was this chance or a message? The leaves rustled, like whispers. She didn't know. But she knew one thing: she couldn't wait anymore. The next day, Lena came with a plan. I need to get inside Newlight, photograph their records. But I need someone on the inside. What can I do? Mara asked. Apply as a cleaner. They never check slum IDs. At night, you'll see things they don't want seen. Mara hesitated. She could be caught. Nana could lose her. But then she saw Nana folding a paper crane, a skill Lena had taught her. Cranes bring luck, the girl had said. Mara took a deep breath. I'll do it. Then something strange happened in Ka. At sunrise, kids playing by the tree found a strange flower blooming at its roots, purple petals, golden center, smelling faintly of herbs. Old Asha Nearly collapsed when she saw it. Mwama's flower. It hasn't bloomed in 300 years. Legend said it only ap a red before great change a warning and a hope. The slum gathered. Some prayed. Some wept. Mayare stood before the flower, whispering, "Mama, what are you telling me?" A breeze lifted Nana's paper crane, dropping it gently onto the petals. Meanwhile, at New Life RMA, James Coleman stood before his boa RD, smug. Africa's ripe for profit. We're accelerating Project K Phase 3 trials by year's end. No one told him about the clay Shah RD he'd dismissed as trash, now hanging from a tree, a mother's last hope. No one told him the wind had shifted carrying the scent of EARTH and a flower unseen for centuries, blowing straight Tower RD his glass tower. The storm was coming. 6 a.m., Ruka slums, the fog still lingers. Mara stood at the New Life RMA back in trance with the other temp workers, dressed in an oversized blue janitor's uniform courtesy of Lena, bought secondhand, the sleeves still stitched with the previous owner's name. Her hair was tucked under a cap, and she clutched a fake temp ID in her pocket. Lena had pulled strings to get it. A distant cousin in City Hall had forged it. The photo was hers, but the name read Marla Duca. Remember, Lena had warned her last night, "You're only assigned to be a Ray basement levels 2 and 3. Labs and bathrooms. Don't enter rooms, don't touch equipment. Just sweep, mop, wipe doorknobs. But keep your eyes open." Mara had nodded, her heart clenched like a fist. After putting Nana to bed, she'd sat by the door folding paper cranes all night, each one scribbled with her daughter's name. "Mama's going to get medicine. I'll be back soon," she'd whispered. Like a prayer. Now, she waited in line with a dozen other temps, mostly black women, some older, some holding babies, their eyes hollow. They were the city's ghosts, scrubbing floors by day, vanishing by night. No one remembered their faces. The Gua RD checked names off a list, rough-handed. When he got to Mara, he squinted. "Aren't you the one crying for medicine yesterday?" Her heart stopped. "No, sir. First day." He sta read, then waved her through. "Don't wander. Head down." She followed the group into the basement. The air reeked of bleach and something chemical, cold as a tomb. The halls were blinding white, walls lined with metal doors labeled with warnings. "Authorized personnel only. By a safety level 3. Mara was assigned to be 2-3 lab corridors, 2 bathrooms. Pushing her cart, gripping the mop, she scanned everything. Signs in English, but the symbols were clear: skulls for poison, flames for flammable, triangles for danger. Then she noticed some doors glowed blue at the seams. Labels read a Project K Pediatric Immune Response Study. Children. Her chest tightened. Nana's name flashed in her mind. She forced herself to work. Mop, wipe, empty trash. Hidden in her cart were Lena's tools: a voice recorder, tucked in an old toothbrush case, a microcamera, disguised as a button, and a blank notebook. At lunch, locked in a bathroom stall, she sketched in the notebook a door labeled K7, with a camera. A medicine bottle with the same symbols as the Claysha RD. Stick figures holding hands, labeled kids. She didn't know if it meant anything. But she had to remember. Then 3 p.m. Something happened. She was emptying a trash bin outside K3 when the door swung open. An African woman in a lab coat stepped out, holding a tray of used test tubes. She froze when she saw Mara, jerking the tray behind her. Mara ducked her head. "Sorry. Almost done." But the woman didn't leave. "You're new. Yes, first day." The woman glanced around, then whispered, "Your name Marva." The woman's eyes darkened. "Listen, Marva. If you see anything labeled K, don't touch it. Don't look. Don't take it." Or she hesitated. "You'll disappear." Mara looked up. The fear in the woman's eyes mirrored her own. "Why, this isn't your place. Poor people shouldn't touch medicine, and medicine shouldn't touch the poor." Then she hurried off. Mara stood frozen, heart hammering. Now she knew Project K was testing on kids. That night, she handed the notebook to Lena. In her tiny apartment, they projected the photos. The medicine bottle symbols match the SHA RD exactly. It's KLA Raven, Lena said, pulling up files. A new malaria drug. Normal trials take 5 years. Inulite rushed it in 8 months. Skipped safety checks. And the kids. Lena opened an encrypted folder. Blurry photos. App A read thin children in a clinic, numbered stickers on their ARMS. But the worst was a medical form. A patient, Nana M.Ag, 3 trial group, K7 reactions, fever, vomiting, liver damage status, lost to follow-up, family refusal. Nana M.A.'s hands shook. They already tested on her. Lena hugged her. I'm sorry. I should have found this sooner. TARS hit the paper. Now MARA understood Nana's pneumonia wasn't bad luck. Nulite's waste had poisoned Ka Rook as well. The water Nana drank was laced with drug residue. Does James know? MARA hissed. Of course, Lena scoffed. He signed off on it. They bribed officials to say African groundwater self-cleans. MARA was silent a long time. Then can I go back one more time? For proof. Lena shook her head. Too risky. The Gua RD recognized you. But I know the route now. And I dreamed the woman in the colorful dress. She said, medicine belongs to the people. I think she wants me to take back what's ours. Lena studied her. This quiet, broken mother now burned with something fierce. The next day, MARA wore the uniform again. But this time, she was ready. The recorder was sewn into her collar. The camera button pinned to her chest. The notebook tucked against her skin. Nana was with a neighbor. Before leaving, the girl had hugged her legs, saying, Mama, the crane flew. Mama will fly back too, she'd whispered, kissing her forehead. This time, luck was with her. B2 was under deep cleaning. Temps were sent to organize the archive room, a space crammed with boxes labeled historical data. MARA pretended to fumble, knocking over a box. Papers scattered. She stole Glance's English words, but some stood out. Clinical trial report, adverse events, compensation waiver, then a map. Nulite's waste pipes, dumping straight into Ka Ruka's only well. She slipped a sheet into her sleeve. Footsteps. She scrambled to clean up. The door opened. It was the Rese Urcher from before. She paled seeing MARA, stepped in, and shut the door. Who are you? She demanded. You're no cleaner. MARA knew the game was up. She pulled out the map, voice trembling. My daughter's name is Nana. You tested on her. Poisoned our water. She almost died and you made her mother beg in the rain. The woman Amina Sta read, then sagged. I'm just an assistant on Project K. Then help me. MARA dropped to her knees. I need proof. The world needs to know. A long silence. Then Amina pulled a USB drive from her pocket. Full trial data. Deleted side effect reports. But don't name me. MARA took it like it was on fire. Why help me? Amina's smile was bitter. Because I'm a mother too. My daughter's in Cape Town. If she knew what we did here, she'd hate me. She opened the door. Go. And don't come back. MARA nodded, tucking the drive into a hidden pouch. She didn't know in the security room, a Gua RD was re-watching footage. A cleaner bending over, a paper peeking from her sleeve. And on James Coleman's desk, a report weighted internal leak risk assessment. Outside, the wind stirred the clay Shah RD on the sacred tree. And by Ka Rook as well, old Asha dipped a clay bowl into the water, telling the women gathered, this water tastes like medicine. The moment MARA handed over the USB drive, her hands were still shaking. Can this destroy them? She whispered, like she was afraid of waking something. Lena plugged the drive into her laptop, fingers flying. A folder popped up. A Project K final data, internal use only. If these are real trial records, Lena's eyes gleamed. It's not a scandal, it's a crime. She opened the first file, a PDF titled KLA Raven Pediatric Immune Response Phase 3 Clinical Trial Summary. Pages of dense English, but the graphs were clear. Our left side, healthy kids' immune responses smooth, steady lines. Right side, trial kids' responses wild spikes, some lines cutting off abruptly. These broken lines. MARA pointed. Did the children die? Lena nodded. Notes say lost to follow-up or family withdrawal. But with the water poisoning and symptom reports, probably deaths from severe side effects. Next, a video file. A dim clinic. Dozens of small children sitting in rows, numbered stickers on their RMS. A doctor drew blood, some kids cried, held down by parents. Then the camera panned to a tiny face, big eyes, hollow cheeks. Mara gasped. Nana! That's Nana! The timestamp, March 12, 2025. 2 weeks before Nana's first high fever. They never told me Mara trembled. No one said it was a trial. What did I sign? Lena pulled up a scanned document, a consent form with Mara's signature at the bottom. The one she'd signed for a free checkup. No one had explained trial. They prey on the illiterate, Lena hissed. Use free as bait. Treat kids like lab rats. Mara slumped in her chair, TRS silent. She remembered Nana crying, Mama, I hate shots. Not Fia or her body remembered the pain. We have to expose this, Mara said suddenly, I sha RP, let the world see. But Lena shook her head. If we release it now, James will call it fake. We need more recording, and insider testimony. Mara nodded. I'll go back in. No. Lena grabbed her arm. Amina already risked everything. It's too dangerous. But I know the archive room route, Mara said calmly. And I have a plan. She pulled a paper crane from her bag folded by Nana yesterday. Go Mama scribbled on the wings in crayon. I hid a recorder in the cleaning cart. This time, I'll get them talking. Lena sta read at the crane, then sighed. Fine. One last time. 2 days later, Mara stood at New Light's back door in her janitor uniform again. This time, steadier. The recorder was tucked in her collar, the camera button aimed, the crane sewn into her pocket like a cha-rm. She was assigned to CRA executive offices, 3rd floor. Where the big bosses met. Good luck, Lena had said. Cleaners get called to fetch coffee or empty ashtrays during meetings. Eavesdrop if you can. Mara pushed her cart down hushed halls, thick carpet swallowing her steps. Then voices behind a conference room door. She pretended to wipe the knob, pressed close. James' voice, smug, Africa's a goldmine. Lax regulations, cheap labor. KLA Rabin would take 5 Rs in Europe. Here too. Side effects, small price. A few dead poor kids, no one ca res. Another voice, but there's an anonymous tip about our waste dumping. James laughed. So what, EPA guys get monthly payoffs? If it blows up, blame local hygiene. That begging woman's kid lived, didn't she? Proof the drug works. Mara's grip on the mop turned white-knuckled. She clicked the recorder on. The meeting continued. BOA RD wants progress reports. MARK all deaths as lost to follow-up. Underreport side effects by 70%. Tell HQ Project K's on track. Africans cheap test subjects. Mara's blood boiled. She stepped back, knocked over a vase. Who's there? James Ked. She ran. CART crashing, GUA RDS shouting, radios crackling. She dove into a bathroom, locked the door, yanked out her notebook, scrawling. Execs admitted, hiding side effects, bribing officials, calling African kids cheap test subjects. She sketched the room number, C305. Then she hid the recorder inside a tampon box. No one checks there, Lena had said. Banging on the door. Cleaner. Open up. Mara took a breath, stashed the evidence, and let them in. GUA RDS tore APART her CART, rummaged. Through trash. Steal anything. The head GUA RDSNA led. No just cleaning. Mara kept her eyes down, voice small. They left empty-handed. Mara collapsed onto the toilet seat, drenched in sweat. But she smiled. She'd recorded it all. That night, she handed the recorder and notes to Lena. James' voice filled the tiny APA, every word a blade. This is enough, Lena clenched her fists. Tomorrow, I contact international press. But danger was already closing in. At dawn, a neighbor burst in, run. Police are coming. They say you stole company secrets. Ma Roz Hert dropped. She scped up Nana and bolted out the back. Police cars blocked the alley. She de route Tawa RD the maze of shanties kids knew these paths best. Stop. Mara Mwanga, you're under arrest. Then a motorcycle ROA read out of a side alley. Lena yelled, get on. Mara jumped on, Nana clutched tight. The bike tore through the fog, leaving the cops behind. Meanwhile, at Newlight's penthouse, James watched security footage, Mara escaping on the bike, the paper crane fluttering from her pocket, landing in the mud. He smirked. What can an illiterate woman do? He didn't see old Asha picking up the crane, reading Go Mama on its wings. The old woman looked up at the Klesha RD on the sacred tree, murmuring, Mother Earth, do you see this? The wind stirred. The Shah RD chimed softly. And in Lena's appartement, a video uploaded title, Newlight Fa RMA secret recording, C admits using African kids as lab rats. The post button was clicked. The storm had arrived. 3 hours after the video dropped, 500,000 views. Lena didn't post on mainstream platforms. She knew Big Fa RMA had teams to scrub content, bury truths, spin narratives. Instead, she sent the video and USB files to 3 outlets she trusted: of The Guardian, UK, Africa Times, South Africa, Truthlands, and Indie. Team exposing medical ethics violations. Then she uploaded a Swahili subtitled version to Lusaka Voices, a local forum, with one line, this isn't a story. This is our children bleeding. 4 a.m., safe house. Mara and Nana hid in Lena's appartement. The police sirens had faded hours ago. Nana slept on the couch, a new paper crane clutched in her fist. Mara refreshed the browser, her pulse synced to the rising view count. Then the first headline broke. The GUARDAN, cheap testing ground, how a Fa RMA giant ran secret trials on African children. The article quoted the audio, medical records, the pollution maps. Proof. They see us. Mara whispered, TRS falling silently. 6 a.m., hashtag give us the medicine trends. #1 in Africa tweets flooded in, Kenya has these trials too. My brother died after a free checkup. James Coleman HEARUS. 8 a.m., protests erupt in Lusaka. Med students sat outside Newlight's HQ, signs reading, ethics over profits. Police dispersed them, but footage went viral amplifying the rage. Meanwhile, in Kairuka, the windshifts old Asha led mothers to the sacred tree, each holding a clay bowl of tainted well water yellowed, oily. This water, Asha Dekle read, is our children's blood. They poured it at the tree's roots, then stood silent, a human wall. No chants. No songs. Just presence. Then paper cranes. Hundreds, tied to branches, names scrawled on wings, Nana. Kaulo. Amina. Little tree, each one, a life almost erased. We won't riot, a mother said. We'll just make the world see us. A journalist captured it. Africa Times ran the photo black and white, gaunt mothers hand in hand, empty bowls at their feet. The headline, Kairuka's silence is deafening. Mara stood among them, Nana in her ARMS. No longer the woman begging in rain, a mother scene. What now, she asked Lena. The Boa Road PA rent companies in London. Enough global pressure, they'll crack. Afternoon, Newlight's weak response, a corporate statement, hour of allegations. Internal review pending. No further comment. Mara snapped. On camera, she held up Nana's medical file. My daughter isn't an allegation. She's a person. You tested on her, called her lost. To follow up, the clip exploded. Kenyan MPs grilled their health minister, do we let foreigners treat our kids as lab rats? Nigerian doctors signed an open letter, medical ethics have no borders. Even the UN Africa office demanded an investigation. James Coleman's arrogance internal email leaked, Africans are re-emotional. Hype will fade. Project K continues. He was wrong. Day 7, an unlikely ally. An anonymous poster app read on a Kairuka blog a lab photo, children in hospital beds, for drips, ID numbers on their charts. Text below, I'm Amina. I worked on Project K. I lied for 3 years. Now, I tell the truth. A video followed. Amina, face blurred, voice altered, confessed how she was forced to falsify data. How kids' liver damage was dismissed as normal. How she took hush money but couldn't sleep. I thought I was helping Africa. Instead, I helped kill children. She leaked more emails, payment trails, destroyed reports. I'm no hero. Just a mother who doesn't want her daughter to be ashamed of me. Then a 3-minute list of names. The children. Mothers in Ruka wept, raged, whispered their kids' names as the wind shook the cranes loose, swirling like snow. New Light stock crashed 40%. PA rent company panicked, Project K paused. Independent review launched. But Mara and Lena knew not enough. We don't want a pause, Lena said on a livestream. We want compensation. Clean water. And Mara stepped four-way RD, Nana. In her ARMS, James Coleman must fall. Nightfall, the storm arrives in Ruka. Mothers tucked kids into bed with new stories. Not just the lion and the rabbit, but Mama and the paper crane. In his penthouse, James Coleman watched #FireJamesColeman trend. Amina's video hit 1 million views. He shut his laptop, walked to the window. Ruka's flickering lights looked like a STA-RVED galaxy. Then he remembered the woman in the rain. What had she said? You're human too. You had a mother. His wine glass trembled. Outside, the wind ride the scent of mud, medicine, and paper wings creeping. Tawa RD the cracks in his glass tower. London, 2 a.m. Amina sat in her rented flat, curtains drawn, the glow of her laptop the only light. It had been 48 hours since her confession video dropped. Her inbox was flooded. Reporters, lawyers, ex-colleagues. Some called her a hero. Others, a traitor. She couldn't sleep, terrified. Newlight would track down her daughter's address in Cape Town, but no regrets. Rewatching her testimony, she remembered her first day at Newlight a decade ago. White coat crisp, RT full of ideals, I'll use science to heal Africa. Now she'd become science's executioner. A new email popped up encrypted. From TruthLens, your evidence is with the International Medical Ethics BOA Road. Newlight's emergency BOA RD meeting is tomorrow live-streamed. Your financial records, those EPA bribes, or read the smoking gun. Amina closed her eyes, TRS falling. Silence wasn't protection. It was complicity. Lusaka, the night before Mara and Lena prepped for their biggest move yet. A live Q&A with the BOA RD. Mara asked nervously. Will they even listen? Lena nodded. PA rent companies under pressure. They're letting the public submit questions. That's our moment. We tell Nana's story to the world. But I don't speak English. I don't know how to. You don't need words. Lena squeezed her hand. Just hold Nana. Let them see a mother's face. The truth is in your eyes. They RSED. Mara practiced her lines. My daughter Nana, age 3. MARCH 2025 taken for a free checkup. April fever, vomiting. Village doctor said pneumonia. I begged Newlight for medicine. Their C told me, go die. Later, Ilea reneged she was their lab rat. Every time she spoke it, Mara wept. Nana, confused, wiped her TRS. Mama don't cry. Nana better now. Yes, Mara hugged her tight. Mama won't cry. Because we're not silent anymore. Ruka, the calm before the storm. Under the sacred tree, mothers gathered. Old Asha brought palm wine, pouring a sip for each into clay cups. Ancestors' courage, she said. Drink it. Let it steal your hearts. Someone began singing not a lament, but an old resistance song, deep and rhythmic, like a heartbeat. Children danced around the tree, paper cranes held aloft like tiny torches. Mara watched, suddenly realizing, she wasn't alone. All of Ruka had her back. London, Newlight BOA Roodroom under crystal chandeliers, 12 directors sat stiffly. The PA rent companies chaired the emergency meeting, face grim. Screens displayed real-time data. Stock price, plummeting, media headlines, brutal, global outrage, trending, we must cut losses, the C said. Project K is toxic now. Proceeding would burn the brand. One director objected, but we've sunk €200 million into R&D. Africa's the future, we can't fold over a few emotional claims. Not claims, legal snapped. We just got subpoenaed by the International Medical Ethics. BOA wrote Amina's files include bribes to environmental agencies. And that recording James calling African kids cheap test subjects is a global joke now. Silence. Where's James? The C demanded. Locked in his office. Refuses to attend. Drag him in. This is his mess. 10 minutes later, James Coleman slunk in suit, wrinkled, tie crooked, eyes shifty. He sat, smirking. Since when do we cave to illiterate actors? Africans love playing victims enough. The C slammed the table. Your arrogance torched this company. Do you know our stock price? How many countries are re-banning us? James scoffed. I delivered profits, you delivered shame. Legal played the C305 hallway recording. James' voice crisp, a few dead poor kids. No one ca res. Africans a re-cheap test subjects. The BOA RD recoiled. One stood, I moved to terminate James Coleman immediately. Seconded. Thirded. James shot up. You're fools. I built the Africa division. Without me, you'll lose the continent. Arquette. The C laughed coldly. You built a gravy road. You're suspended. Investigation pending. Security escorted James out. At the door, he SNA led. You'll regret this. None of you know how to handle these. Nig. The door slammed. The C exhaled. Now we face the public. Lusaka, the live stream Mara held Nana on camera. Lena translated. 500,000 plus viewers globally. UK, South Africa, India, Brazil. The host asked, Mara Mwenga of Lusaka, what's your question for the BOA RD? Mara took a breath. No notes. Just truth. My name is Mara. I'm Nana's mother. Her voice wavered, then steadied. May 7, 2025. I knelt outside New Light, begging for antibiotics. Your C said, go die in your shack. My daughter lived. Because of a tree. An old healer. A journalist. A brave scientist who spoke up. But other children, the lost to follow-up ones, were their mothers still begging. She lifted Nana's medical file, finger tracing trial group K7. This isn't lost. It's hidden. Not free checkups. Theft. Stealing children's health. Stealing mother's dignity. She kissed Nana's forehead. I don't hate James. Hate would make me like him. I ask for 3 things and New Light apologizes. Compensates every family. Clean Ka Ruka's water. Build a free clinic. No mother should beg for medicine again. Silence. The chat exploded. I'm crying. Salute this mother. The host asked, do you want James Coleman to hear this? Mara nodded. Yes. Tell him you had a mother too. If she were sick, would you beg for her? Would you let a doctor say go die? Medicine shouldn't care about skin or money. It's life. Not a product. Then Lena's phone buzzed. She gasped. Amina's calling in. She wants to speak. The screen split. Amina's face red blurred, voice altered, but clear. I'm Amina. Ex-New Light scientist. For 3 years, I worked for James. I faked data. Hid side effects. Took blood money. I told myself, it's just a job. But when I saw Mara kneeling in rain, and James said go die, I knew. This wasn't work. It was sin. I spoke up, not for redemption, but for my daughter. I won't let her be ashamed of me. James, you're not the only guilty one. The whole system whispers, poor people don't deserve medicine. Black lives don't matter. But today we're loud. Medicine belongs to the people. And justice is coming. The aftermath. The stream ended. 3 seconds of global silence. Then social media detonated. Fire James Coleman worldwide. One trend. Medicine for all spray painted across African streets. UN Secreta General, medical equality is a human right. In Ruka, mothers hugged under the sacred tree, weeping. Paper cranes fluttered in the wind like 1,000 hands finally opening. Mayare held Nana, sta ring at the stars. She didn't know what tomorrow held. But she knew this: the wind had turned. 3 days after the Boa Road meeting, the rain returns. Mayare sat by the window in Lena's apartment, Nana asleep in her RMS. Outside, Lusaka was shrouded in grey mist. Nulaifa Areme's glass tower still stood, but its arrogance had dimmed. The news said James Coleman was suspended, an internal investigation launched. But Mara knew this wasn't justice. They're stalling, she told Lena. Suspension isn't firing. Investigation isn't punishment. Lena nodded, scrolling through Amina's latest encrypted email. She says there's one missing piece: the original Project K consent forms. The real ones, before they were doctored. If we find them, we prove the fraud was intentional from day one. Where the archives? Deep storage room labeled historical sealed. Amina says all sensitive docs end up there, waiting to fade with time. Mara clenched her fists. Go back after NEARLY getting caught last time. But then she remembered Nana's labored breaths. James, go die, and her resolve hardened. I'll go. No, Lena cut in. You're too visible now. I'll infiltrate. You reach out to old Asha. She thinks the clay Shah RD's symbols might hold clues. Ruka, the sacred tree. Old Asha sat under the baobab, grinding herbs. She took the clay Shah RD, tracing its etched symbols with cracked fingers. This isn't modern script, she murmured. Ancient Swahili, mixed with Arab trader Ma RKS. Our ancestors called it the language of medicine. What does it say? Asha squinted, deciphering. Medicine of life. Belongs to the people. Never hoe a ride for greed. Ra's breath caught. This was their fight, spelled out centuries ago. Then Asha pointed to a spiral at the edge. This means water source. In the old tongue, medicine flows from water, sickness begins there too. Mara froze. Nulite's waste pipes fed straight into Ruka's well. Where did this Shah RD come from? Asha gazed. At the tree. Long ago, this was a healer's gathering place. They see Ayurved remedies into clay, buried them here, saying the EARTH remembers. When the factory was built, bulldozers dug up many. The whites threw them away like trash. Mara understood now. This Shah RD was a warning from the past. Nulite had built over sacred ground, stolen knowledge, poisoned the land. Medicine isn't in bottles, she whispered, recalling the dream woman's words. It's in HERTS. That night, Nulite's basement. Lena, disguised as a maintenance worker, slipped into the archives. Security was lax amid the scandal. That historical sealed room was frigid, stacked with dust-choked boxes. She found it Project K original files, do not disturb. Inside, the real consent forms. Unlike the ones Mara signed, these stated clear RLY this trial ca rise severe risks, liver damage, neurological harm, potential death. PA participants must knowingly consent. No signatures. Lena snapped photos, uploading them to the cloud. Then footsteps. She hid as two Gua RDS entered, stealing expired drugs from another box. Black market pays well, one muttered. Company's sinking anyway. Lena recorded them, then escaped. Dawn, the final blowback at the apartment. Lena sent the photos to Mara and their legal team. Proof, Nulite had lied from the start. Mara wept, holding the images. They tricked us all. Then a knock. Old Asha's messenger delivered a cloth bundle. Inside, 3 more clay Shah RDS, freshly dug from the tree's roots. When pieced together, they formed a map: a winding river. A well. Asqa rebuilding. Stick figures kneeling. Asha's note read, healers recorded history and symbols. This wa RNS, when outsiders build over water, sickness follows. Mara gasped. The building's outline matched Nulite's HQ. They knew, she choked out. They knew the poison would spread, and they built anyway. Lena published everything at the Shah RD map. The real consent forms. The Gua RDS stealing drugs. Title, Ancestral WA earnings, how Newlight trampled history and lives. The world erupted. Archaeologists, these Shah RDSA cultural heritage return them. Historians, colonial theft never ended, it just we RS suits now. Journalists exposed, Newlight had bought the land as worthless, hiding its sacred past. London, Boa Rudrum panicked. The Pa Rent Company's lawyers were grim. With the original consents leaked, plus bribery, pollution, and cultural destruction, we face global lawsuits. Project K is dead. Our reputation is ash. The CX hailed, rubbing his temples. Terminate James Coleman. Immediately. Ka Ruka, victory firecrackers popped in Lusaka's streets. Mothers danced under the sacred tree, singing old gratitude hymns. Mayare held Nana, gazing at the Shah RDs. Words, medicine of life. Belongs to the people. Grandmothers, she whispered, we he RDU. Night fell. Wind rustled the paper cranes. The clay Shah RD gleamed in moonlight like a seed buried for 300 YRS, finally breaking ground. London, Newlight Fa RMAHQ, Emergency Boa Road Meeting Number 13. The Boa Roadroom was icy under surgical white chandelier lights. 12 directors sat stiffly around the mahogany table, faces grim. The wall screen split into live feeds of CNN, from lab to grave, Africa's orphan drug trials. Twitter, hashtag Fire James Coleman, 1.2 billion views. Stock ticker, a red nosedive line gutting the graph. Mark Wilson, the Pa Rent Company's C, stood at the head, pallid. We're out of runway. James Coleman must be terminated or this scandal sinks the entire group. Objection. The Asia-Pacific rep raised a hand. Coleman drove 37% profit growth. Africa's our future market. Pull out now, we lose everything. Profits legal SNA led. Built on African children's corpses. We just got a preliminary inquiry from the ICC. Charges may include crimes against humanity, this isn't business. It's wa are crimes. Silence. Legal added, the original consent forms, bribe records, pollution proofs, ancestral clay Shah RDS, it's an airtight case. Warsamina's testimony proves systemic cover-up. If we don't cut Coleman loose, the Boa RD could face liability. But wired Coleman, a director shouted. Firing him admits our negligence. Keeping him admits our complicity, Wilson said coldly. Vote. Now. The Secretary announced motion to immediately terminate James Coleman as Newlight C and initiate full investigation. All in favor. Green lights lit up. 10 yes. 1 no. 1 abstain. Motion CA rise, Wilson said. James Coleman is removed. All access revoked. The door burst open. James stormed in, shirt wrinkled, eyes wild. You can't fire me. I built Africa for this company. Those people are lazy, corrupt, undisciplined. You think soft tactics work there enough? Wilson stood. Asterisk. Your tactics risk billions in lawsuits. The world you call African kids cheap testing grounds. So what? James laughed. They breed like rats, can't feed them, nature's weeding them out. We give them medicine, that's charity, not obligation. Gasps. Someone muttered, psychopath. Asterisk. You're done, Wilson said, hitting the intercom. Security, escort Mr. Coleman out. Tugwa RDS haul James away, his screams fading, you'll regret this. Without me, you'll never control those. Door slammed. Wilson exhaled. Now. Prep for the global hearing. Lusaka, Lena's APAers meant the livestream hearing was minutes away. Mara sat before the camera, Nana in her lap. We ring a clean blue dress, bought with pooled savings from Ka Ruka's mothers. Lena would translate, Amina's legal team was patched in. From London. Just speak truth, Lena whispered. The screen lit up. The host announced, Newlight Global hearing. First witness, victim representative, Mara Mwenga. Mara looked straight into the lens. I'm Mara Nana's mother. Asterisk. May 7, 2025, I knelt outside Newlight, begging for antibiotics. Your C said, go die in your shack. Today, I'm here not for revenge, but so no mother kneels for medicine again. She held up Nana's medical file. This is the truth of free checkups my daughter tested on, without consent. She almost died. You call this progress? This is murder. You say Africans are lazy. We walk 6 kilometers for water, carry sick kids to clinics 10 times before giving up. That shard work. Her voice rose. I demand 3 things: a public apology to every victim family. Compensation, medical bills, trauma pay, clean water for Ka Ruka. End Project K forever. Release the drug formula, let Africans make it. Silence. The chat exploded. Queen. I'm sobbing. Host, New Light, your response cut to London. Wilson stood. We deeply regret Ms. Mwanga's ordeal. The company has decided. Wait. Mara interrupted. I have a witness. Wilson blanched. What an insider. A former Project K Resee Urcher. Her name is Amina. The Boa RD erupted. Impossible. Wilson yelled. She's terminated, no clearance to speak. Asterisk, but she has conscience, Mara said calmly. The screen split. Amina Ape read, face blurred, voice altered, but steady. I'm Amina. Asterisk 7 yeah RS at New Light. I worked Project K from day one. I falsified data, deleted adverse reports, coaxed mothers to sign blank consent forms. I told myself, it's just a job. Then I heard James say a few dead poor kids? No one ca res. That's when I knew this wasn't work. It was evil. She paused, scanning the room. Boa Road members, you know Project K's real death rate reports say 2%. Truth. 11.3%. 47 kids with liver damage. 8 disabled for life. 3 dead. Their names, Callow, Asera, Little Tree, each name hit like a hammer. You can fire James, she said. But unless the system changes, another James will come. I demand, release all trial data. Pay repa rations. Surrender KLA Raven's formula to African manufacturers. Silence. Then a director sneered, proof, where's your evidence? Amina clicked a button. A video played, James' voice in the C305 meeting, Africans are cheap test subjects. Dead kids, write them off. Ra's secret recording. This audio, Amina said, was captured by a janitor mother. She doesn't speak English, but she understands love. She risked everything to save her child and expose your crimes. The Boa RD crumpled. Wilson covered his face. We accept all terms, he rasped. Full apology. Compensation. Project K terminated. Formula released. The internet exploded. We won. Ma-Ra for president. Amina hero. Mara hugged Nana, TRS falling. The girl wiped her cheek, Mama no cry. Mama's not crying, Mara kissed her. Mama's smiling. Aftermath. The GUARDIN, a mother's triumph, Africa's medicine, finally returned. Africa Times, from kneeling to standing, Ka Ruka's awakening. In Ka Ruka, mothers lit torches under the sacred tree. Paper cranes swirled in the flames, like souls finally at peace. Mara looked up at the stars, whispering, Papa, you see, Nana lived. We won. The wind rustled the clay Shah RD, its ancient symbols glinting, as if the ancestors murmured, medicine to the people. He RTS to the light. 7 days after the hearing, Lusaka rains. It wasn't the muddy downpour of Ka Ruka. This rain was soft, steady, like the sky was washing away old dust. The city looked wrapped in grey-blue mist. New Light Fa Areme's glass tower, once sharp as a knife, now stood blurred in the rain. A melting ice palace. Mara stood by Lena's window, Nana asleep in her ARMS. The TV murmured, a New Light Pa rent company issues global apology. $230 million pledged for Ka Ruka's medical aid, clean water, and clinics. XC James Coleman terminated, facing international investigation. He's really done, Mara whispered. Lena nodded, still Waria firings just step 1. The real trial's coming. International Medical Ethics Court took the case. If convicted, prison. Mara didn't answer. She didn't crave his jail time. She just wanted no mother to ever kneel in rain, begging for medicine again. Then, her phone buzzed. Old Asha. Mara. Come quick. The tree, it's flowering. What flower Mwamas bloom? Purple petals hasn't opened in 300 years. The ancestors are re-celebrating. Mara's chest wa remed. She kissed Nana awake. Let's go home. See the flower. Ka Ruka, rain-soaked but radiant, the slum felt different. Before, people walked heads down, ashamed of poverty. Today a new light hummed between the tin shacks, pride. Mothers huddled under eaves, planning, I'll fix my son's roof with the compensation. My girl's going to school. Buy a water filter, no more poison. The sacred tree was crowded. Mwama's bloom stood glorious, purple petals like silk, golden center fragrant with herbal spice. Old Asha ladled well water into clay cups, handing them out. This water, she announced, will be clean tomorrow. New Light's building a purification plant, free for us. Cheers erupted. Singing, dancing, kids sprinting circles with paper cranes. Mara approached, Nana in her arms. Asha grabbed her hand. Tree woman, the flower bloomed for you. Mara shook her head. Not me. All mothers together. Then a black sedan rolled into Ka Ruka. No gua RDS. Just one man in a suit. Kalunona, New Light's New Africa director. Silence fell. Eyes narrowed. Kalu didn't approach the tree. He walked straight to Mara, bowed deep. Mama Mara, his voice firm, I apologize, for the company, for myself. What happened here is unforgivable. From his briefcase, he pulled a document. Compensation draft. Each family gets medical funds, school grants, home repairs. We'll clean the water in 3 years, build a Ka Ruka Mothers Health Center run by local doctors and mothers. Mara took the paper, didn't read. The medicine you promised. Kla Raven's formula. Submitted. Kalu nodded. 10 African factories get free production rights. First batch ships next month. Murmurs. Someone yelled, you just SCA red of jail. Kalu turned, calm. I'm African too. Nairobi slums. My mother died of malaria, couldn't afford pills. I swore to change things, then stayed silent in the company for 10 years. He knelt before Mara. You taught me conscience over Ca rear. If you allow it, I join the health center's oversight. Boa Road. Mara studied him, then the mothers. Their suspicion softened to thought. She extended her hand. Welcome, Kalu. But remember, we'll watch you. Not trust you. He clasped her hand, eyes wet. Understood. The aftermath, a new dawn by afternoon, global media SWA or Med. Reporters shoved mics at Mara. What's next for you? She gazed at the sacred tree. With the funds, I'll build a small pharmacy here. Not Mara's pharmacy. Nana's little pharmacy. Sick kids get free medicine, managed by village doctors and mothers. Why Nana? A journalist asked. Because she's the life they almost took. Mara hugged her daughter. I want every Nana to grow up. Word spread. Ka Ruka's mothers mobilized, donating bricks, labor, designs. Old Asha brought ancestral herb recipes, chanting modern and traditional, hand in hand. Lena kept working too. Her book, Ka Ruka's Light, How One Mother Shook the World, chronicled every victim's name. Erased as lost to follow up. History shouldn't be written by winners, she said. But by the silenced who spoke. Meanwhile, Amina messaged from London she'd returned, joining African scientists to launch a local medicine institute, aiming for homegrown cures. We don't need handouts, her note read. We need sovereignty. Then a bombshell. The UN Declaration read a Global Medicine Equity Day, May 7th, the date Mara knelt in rain. First ambassador nominee, Mara Mwenga. Ka Ruka erupted. Kids graffitied walls, Mama Mara, our hero. Mara just smiled. I'm no hero. Just a mother who didn't let her child die. Nightfall, torches and truth under the sacred tree, mothers circled firelight, showering stories, husbands' illnesses, children's dreams. Mara held Nana, listening, laughing, eyes gleaming. Not she remembered that rainy night, kneeling before glass doors, heart broken. Now she stood here, seen by millions, not by miracle. Because she refused to quit. The rain red air was crisp. Mama's bloom swayed in the breeze. A paper crane floated down, landing in Mara's lap. She unfolded it. Nana's scribble inside, Mama, medicine smells sweet. Mara laughed. At last, medicine had rmth. 1 year later, rainy season in Ruka. The skies drizzled again, but this rain wasn't a curse. It pattered gently on the roof of Nana's little pharmacy, a small red brick building with a wooden sign, every child deserves healing. In Swahili and English. Mara stood in the doorway, watching Nana play in the road. Her daughter, now 4, cheeks rosy, giggled as she played doctor with friends, using an empty medicine bottle as a stethoscope. You have a fever. Nana Dekle read, pressing it to a boy's chest. Medicine time. The kids lined up 4 pills, colorful candy beads made by old Asha, safe and sweet, so children wouldn't fear our real medicine. Mara smiled, turning back inside. The pharmacy shelves were stocked antibiotics, fever reducers, vitamins, all neatly labeled. The mothers of Ruka took shifts running it, ledgers open for all to see. Newlight's water purification plant hummed NEARBY, the well ran clear are now, no more poison. Lena arrived, camera slung over her shoulder, hair shorter, gaze sharper. She'd just returned from Geneva, the first Global Medicine Equity Day at the UN, where she'd read Mara's speech of medicine isn't a product. It's a right. When a mother begs for it, she's not asking for charity, she's claiming love's basic act. You didn't stay for the awa RD Mara asked. Lena shook her head. The honor's yours. I'm just the scribe. No, Mara squeezed her hand. It's everyone's, without you, Amina, old Asha, the mothers. I'd still be that woman kneeling in rain. They read a quiet laugh. Then, the radio crackled with news, former Newlight C. James Coleman formally charged by the ICC for crimes against humanity, environmental poisoning, and fraud faces up to 25 years if convicted. Mara listened, neither cheering nor pitying. Her eyes drifted to the sacred tree. Mama's bloom had wilted, but new shoots pushed through the soil, ready for the next century. He'll face trial, Lena said. But the real judgment began that day in the rain. Mara nodded. Justice wasn't a verdict, it was change. London, a cold April meant James Coleman sat in the dim glow of his TV, watching footage of Lusaka. Nana's little pharmacy celebrates its 100th healed child today. Founder Mara Mwenga says, this isn't the end. It's the start. He slammed the remote, shattering it against the wall. For a year, he'd been a ghost. Former colleagues crossed streets to avoid him. His son bullied at school. His wife filing for divorce. Job applications leaked to media, employers fleeing. He wasn't an elite anymore. He was a punchline. A ring at the Thames fog, he remembered the woman in the rain. Her words echoed, you're human too. You had a mother. He closed his eyes, sought his mother on her deathbed, skeletal hand gripping his. James, don't forget who you are. Money can't buy dignity. What had he replied? Mom, dignity's for winners. Now, he had nothing. From a drawer, he pulled a faded photo, his mother holding him as a boy, both smiling. For the first time, he cried. Not for the victims. For himself, the soul his arrogance ate alive. Ruka, under the sacred tree night fell. Mothers gathered again, not to protest, but to celebrate. They read food, stories, children dancing in firelight. Old Asha poured palm wine into clay cups, to Mother Earth. To ancestors. To mothers who refused to kneel. Mara raised hers, to Nana. To every child who lived. The air smelled of spice and song. Lena opened her notebook, scribbling the final chapter title, Medicine on the Wind. She wrote, pills live in bottles, but also on the breeze. They drift past tin shacks, glass towers, mothers' TRS, children's laughter. They belong to no one, yet should reach everyone. Because medicine's core isn't chemistry. It's humanity. Looking up, she saw Mara holding Nana, both gazing at the stars. Mama, stars look like pills, Nana pointed. Mara laughed. Yes. Each one shining. From her pocket, she pulled the original paper crane, yellowed, creased, but unbroken. She let it go. It saw red past the sacred tree, over the pharmacy, into the arcade, a tiny star, crying a mother's prayer under African skies, quietly reaching where it's needed. The wind still blows. Medicine still flies. And he RTS finally Leah Rened to catch it.